Hello, this is the 34th issue of Catch of the Day, available on the Branch Talk YouTube channel. I'll be reading again from Doug Mitchell's book, Holy Cow, Holy Dung, and it's based on Numbers 19 and Ezekiel 4. Starting at the top of page 29, we read, all of the potential unpleasantries of spiritual illuminations can be avoided by, in humility, walking by faith, following inspiration's guidance, in either practicing what the Holy Spirit has confirmed to be the ways of life, as we have learned from our faithful parents, or in seeking for greater wisdom and knowledge ourselves, should our spiritual guides have shown themselves to be unwise in some regards. Whether it be in the natural or spiritual realm, at this stage of our growth we can avoid soiling ourselves, except by mistake, mishap, or through short-sightedness, should we take heed to the following. Wherefore let him that thinketh he standeth take heed lest he fall. There hath no temptation taken you but such as is common to man. But God is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. 1 Corinthians 10, verse 12 and 13. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Proverbs 3, verse 5. Cease ye from man, whose breath is in his nostrils, for wherein is he to be accounted of? Isaiah 2, verse 22. Howbeit, when she, the Spirit of truth, is come, she will guide you into all truth. John 16, verse 13. In the Hebrew economy, as ordained by God, there were set times for worship and prayer. In the morning at the 3rd hour, about 9 a.m., and in the evening at the 9th hour, about 3 p.m. The nation stopped for prayer and praise, as the priests were offering the daily burnt offerings for their sanctification. There were also special offerings presented on the Sabbath and on the holy convocations, the new moons, Passover, Pentecost, and Day of Atonement, and the Feast of Tabernacles. All of these times were times of spiritual feasting and refreshment. There are wonderful things to be learned from that economy, especially as it was brought into the light of the New Covenant, even as it relates to eating and passing off waste. But these things are also subjects of other studies. So we hereby ask the reader to see those studies: the daily part 1, the daily part 2, the I'm being religious about eating diet, the Lord's Supper part 3, questions and answers on the Lord's Supper, or a supper of the Lord, daily, the search for leaven, the law of God versus the traditions of man, the Lord's Supper, from the table to the altar and back, Christ in the daily meal, the Lord's Supper part 2, doing right, or right doing by Christ. Going to the bathroom by Christ's life in you is when you go to the bathroom at regular times. That is, because we are given heed to the counsel. Blessed art thou, O land, when thy princes eat in due season, for strength and not for drunkenness. Ecclesiastes 10:17. At this stage we have learned the lessons of our youth, and they have become natural for us. Christ's righteousness has been imparted to us. Wisdom is being justified of all her children. Luke 7:35. We have learned how and when to eat, and thus we know when we will be ready to pass things off. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven. Ecclesiastes 3, verse 1. We have learned how to be temperate in what, when, and how we eat, even of spiritual things, as had Christ. And the child grew and waxed strong in spirit, filled with wisdom, and the grace of God was upon him. Luke 2:40. Take care.